Which movie quote stuck with you? I guess sometimes there just aren't enough rocks. Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan said we won't ever have to worry about money again. I said, great. That's one less thing. I want the job with the least amount of responsibility. American Beauty. Janie. Today I quit my job. And then I told my boss to go frick himself. And then I blackmailed him for almost $60,000. Pass the asparagus. Van Wilder. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. I remind myself every time I start to freak out. Oh wow. Someone actually wrote it down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember it then. There's actually a treasure trove of quotes from that movie. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. And of course, I know Ms. Pac-Man is special. She's fun. She's cute. She swallows. Same concept. Worrying is suffering twice. Newt Scamander. Cowboy. Doc. What the hell are you even doing this for anyways? Doc Holliday. Wyatt Earp is my friend. Cowboy. Hell. I got lots of friends. Doc Holliday. I don't. I feel like I could just cut and paste all of Doc's lines from the script of that movie into this thread. One of my all-time favorites. If God is on our side, then who the hell is on theirs? Saving Private Ryan. A toast to the troops. All the troops. Both sides. Always makes me think of the opposing troops meeting for Christmas in World War I. Yay, it's great because you can take it multiple ways. Just like you can take the whole movie in multiple similar ways. God is on ours and the devil on theirs versus. We think God is on ours and so do they versus. God being on a side is stupid. The God I want wouldn't want war at all. We used to look up at the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt. Interstellar? Yep. Interstellar. Nolan and/or Zimmer clearly had a thing for. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. Do not go gentle into that good night. The line that sticks with me most from Interstellar, however, is just Murph. It's a hell of a thing killing a man. You take away all he's got. And all he's ever gonna have. And the "we all have it coming" kid deserves got nothing to do with it. I wish none of this had ever happened. So do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. I can't do this, Sam. I know. It's all wrong. By rights we shouldn't even be here. But we are. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end. Because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing. This shadow, even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you. That meant something. Even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't. Because they were holding on to something. What are we holding on to? Sam. That there's some good in this world. Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting for. Death is just another path. One that we all must take. The gray rain curtain of this world rolls back. And all turns to silver glass. And then you see it. What? Gandalf? See what? White shores. And beyond, a far green country under a swift sunrise. That doesn't sound so bad. In Clint Eastwood's western, The Unforgiven, He partners up with a young cowboy who shot and killed a person for the first time. As they sat together later, the kid's conscience was bothering him. He tried to justify killing the man by saying, "He had it coming, right?" And Clint Eastwood in his casual masculine way replied, "Kid, we all have it coming." That's always stuck with me. Good one. Mine from that movie is when Money is about to kill Little Bill. And Bill tells him, "I'll see you in hell." Money just replies, "Yeah." He doesn't hear an insult. Just a statement of fact. He knows he's going to hell when he dies. And he's done pretending otherwise. You don't know about real loss. 'Cause it only occurs when you've loved something more than you love yourself. Good Will Hunting. It ain't about how hard you're hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Stallone. And I wonder if he realizes that this scene probably saved a lot of people's lives. That's a quote that's been helping me. Rocky Balboa is super inspirational. Any fool with a dick can make a baby. But only a real man can raise his children. I remember this. What movie was it again? Boys in the Hood? I always liked Keanu Reeves' character's quote from Parenthood. "You know, Mrs. Buckman, you need a license to buy a dog. You need a license to drive a car. Hell, you even need a license to catch a fish. But they'll let any butt-reaming asshole to be a father." Fantastic movie. It was a bad call, Ripley. A bad call. It's glossed over pretty quickly. But I absolutely love the fact that Hicks was about to execute Burke right before the second action scene starts. No bullshit. No philosophy. Just taking care of the dirtbag that tried to kill Ripley and Newt. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. Supreme executive power derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony. You can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you. If I were to go around saying I was an emperor because some moistened bint lobbed a scimitar at me, they'd put me away. Help! I'm being repressed. Bloody peasant. I'd much rather be happy than right any day. From The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie. Dent, Ford. Perfect, yeah? Dent, I think I'm a sofa. Perfect, I know how you feel. By Grabithar's Hammer. W.H. What a savings. There was so much acting in that one line. Alan Rickman was a gift we did not deserve. We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires. And movie gods. And rock stars. But we won't. And we're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off. The variety of Fight Club quotes in this post are a great credit to the movie. Get busy living or get busy dying. That's goddamned right. Calling somebody else fat won't make you any skinnier. Calling someone stupid doesn't make you any smarter. And ruining Regina George's life definitely didn't make me any happier. Mean Girls. You go Glen Coco. Madison. What you have just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul. A simple no would have sufficed. If your government was responsible for the deaths of almost 100,000 people, would you really want to know? Inspector Finch. V for Vendetta. People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0. Fight Club. People might decry this line for being edgy, but I like it as it reminds me I don't have forever and to try to do something with the time I do have. This is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time. Don't just stare at it. Eat it. American Psycho. Thanks for the silver. Kind stranger. That's a very fine Chardonnay you're not drinking. Christy. A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals. And you know it. Agent K. Great quote, but my favorite part of that quote is at the end of that monologue. Imagine what you'll know tomorrow. Had that etched on the back of my iPod back in the day. One of my favorite scenes ever. Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created? Spy Kids 2. Mr. Buscemi. This is a children's movie. Did you kids know I was a firefighter on 9/11s? Honestly, I love that quote for the fact it's from Spy Kids 2. Imagine if you were reading a book and it was like, I looked over the devastation. And I remembered a line from Hindu mythology. Shiva takes on his multi-armed form for the prince. And they say, now I am become death, destroyer of worlds. I think we were all thinking that in some way. Drive. Oppenheimer. South Park, bigger, longer, uncut. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain. Time to die. The light that burns twice as bright burns half as long. And you have burned so very, very brightly.